Hello everyone, T-Man978. My friend Matt, who I call the bot supplier, ordered this from BBTS and was nice enough to send it to me to review. Don't you think that's nice? I think so. But anyway, this is 30 MDLX, the mini DLX version of Transformers Optimus Prime. Let's open it up and talk about him.
T-Man 978 Chill Review.
Alright, here he is out of the package. He comes with 4 accessories he can use for his body or hold 2 handheld weapons. The Matrix, which goes in the body, he can hold that as well. And this, I guess this would be his jetpack, or maybe it's just his back altogether. He has 5 separate pairs of hands besides the fists that are already attached. I'm going to give you a quick turnaround on what he looks like. Now, what it feels like out of packaging, it feels like it's made out of good quality plastic, and it's pretty much painted all over to pick out little like details. Like there is definitely some wear and tear paint like pretty much all over the body. Here's what it looks like without that back thing on. And here's his spinal column. When you bend his ab prints forward, that's what that looks like. Now I'm gonna plug this on. Let's let you see this real quick. I'm gonna zoom in, but it looks like it's reflecting light, but that's really some paint on there to give it like a rusty, worn out effect. It's just straight up silver on the inside because who cares? Now, like I said, made out of good plastic and whatnot. And here's what this looks like. Now, the bigger figures are popular for having die-cast. I swear, I'm feeling all over this thing, and I don't feel any die-cast. The only known die-cast that I can definitely tell you is the hip joints and the shoulder joints. And the ankle joints, and that's about that. The rest of this thing feels like straight up plastic. So yeah, it doesn't feel like cheap plastic, but I wanted to put that out there. It doesn't feel like extremely heavy, but it feels you know what, these two right here, this is Commander class Motor Master. They feel about the same, to be honest. Here's a closer look on the face. And as you may have noticed, this isn't like a specific Optimus Prime. It's just a G1 stylized, more anime version of Optimus. So, there you go with that. Man. Yeah. You could Google. I'm not going to spend a lot of time zooming in on details. You can see with your own eyes, and you can Google pictures of them. There are hundreds of pictures of this guy on the internet. I'm gonna go out of order and show the articulation first, and then I'm gonna show off more features and the accessories and whatnot. But the head is on a dumbbell post. It kinda, if you bend it back that much, it honestly pops out of that neck socket very, very friggin' easily. I mean, that would make more sense for that to be easy to pop off if it actually came with another head, but I'm trying to make him look up. This is as far as I can make him look up with that dumbbell joint, but then we can use the actual neck joint. But yeah, that just seems, hold on, let me force this on there and make sure that I actually have it in the socket. Well, here's my verdict. It stays in the body, but the head definitely pops off easy if you bend it too far back and of course too far forward. But the neck joint at the ball at the base seems to be doing all the work more than the dumbbell joint that's in there. Of course, it can rotate. The shoulders, there is a dedicated butterfly joint right here. Let me make sure you can see this. It actually comes out right here. So there's that. the way these shoulders work, you can go out and then they like hinge out again to give them more than 90 degrees right there. But when you bring it back down, now it's on this ball joint right here, metal ball joint. You'll have to like rock it to get it back into that position. Don't really like that. But you get the bicep swivel. This was actually stuck because of the paint. You get a, is it double? Yeah, it's a double jointed elbow. When this little piece right here, when you get about right here, it gets a little bit dangly, but you can move that all the way up 90 degrees. You get a dumbbell joint in the wrist, which works with moving in a bit, moving up and down and rotating, but none of these hands can go outward because of the way they're sculpted. Maybe if the dumbbell joint actually came out a little bit more than this little nub, you would get more range. Or maybe if it was actually kind of sculpted to go more inside of the cavity, which they didn't do. So yeah, I've been showing the ab crunch from the back. Here it is from the front. It comes all the way crazy down. Plus you get some tilt right here in the waist, and you can rotate right here. This actually is a ball joint at the bottom too. Let's see, can it go side to side? It would be able to, but the grill comes out too much. Now this right here, I would suggest rotating that up. The way the drop down hips work, it's like a dumbbell system right there. So it's a ball right there, a post, and a ball into the hip that's metal. So you can rock it down like that. But getting him to keep that pose so he can kick up slightly more than 90 is difficult. But he can kick up 90. Now, you saw how these work. They move, they're on the little tiny ball joints. Move forward a bit, up and down, and rotate up. This same deal, ball joint right here. All the same type of range, and another ball joint in this piece right here. So when you're posing, you definitely gotta rearrange this by hand to get that to where you need it to be. But there's a thigh rotation, double jointed knees right here with this more sculpting right there. The ankles are on like the same ball post type situation as the hips and elbows, and they have these flaps right here and a flap in the back, so you can kind of get that much ankle pivot. Really, it's not a whole damn lot, to be honest. You go forward a bit, go back. You can rock it in there on that post, and the toe can come up. Here's the bottom of the feet. All the 3-0 stuff seems to have 3-0 marked on the bottom of the feet. And over here we say Hasbro. I don't think it says Takara Tomy anywhere, because Hasbro owns the licensed Transformers in the United States, and when they make something in the United States, especially through another company, they don't have to acknowledge Takara Tomy. I'll look on the box though. This cuff thing over top of the foot, it can rotate like this. And does it go up and down? Not really. It just rotates. I don't know why. You can kind of bend it a little bit forward and back on a ball joint, but there's that. Now let me just get into, no, I'm gonna save my final thoughts till the end. It is very crazy posable, but you just gotta have patience because of stuff like this and other things like readjusting the hips. But let me attempt to keep holding that till the end. But it is posable and nice to look at. This gun kind of reminds me of the Bumblebee movie Optimus Prime mixed with his fusion, with his ion cap blaster. Well, here's this. Is this a 5mm peg hole? I don't know. I don't have my War for Cybertron Trilogy blast effects, but this is a 5mm peg, and no, It's not 5mm bag hole, so it's going to be difficult getting blast effects in there. But yeah, this doesn't do anything but look like it looks. The cartridge doesn't come out. You get this X. Both of these are fully covered in paint, and you see the transparent parts right here and here. It's like even a hook right here at the bottom of that. And here is the matrix. The matrix is flat. It's not an orb or anything. To put the matrix into the chest, it doesn't open up. It doesn't have an opening feature. Even though this is a non-transforming action figure, they didn't think it would be cool to give the chest an opening feature. They went like the model kit route, and there are magnets in there, so that's what's holding this on here. But here is the inside of his chest detail, and I don't think it really matters which way the matrix goes in there. The only thing covering it is this. Oh, yeah. He has hands for holding the different accessories. I would honestly, if you want him to be a right-handed dude, I'd just leave this hand straight on there. And it is sculpted to have a trigger finger, so that's cool. And as you would think, you just pop this back onto the ball joint, and there you are with that. Wow, I messed with this thing so much, and this head popping off was not a problem for me until I started filming. It's making them look way bad. But yeah, I never had a problem with this just popping straight out, and I'm forcing it down with all my might, and it just keeps happening. Here's an example pose with the gun. I got those more splayed open hands. I guess that looks good with that. He does come with these hands right here, which has a gap in the middle, so you can wrap the fingers around this matrix. I would just do that, maybe, and then plug them back onto the arms. Here's an example of him trying to light our darkest hour right there. Well, there you go, that. Getting him to hold this axe is a bit scary. It does not like separate in the center or something. You just shove the pole through the hand. You actually have to pry the fingers open, which you can do. They're pliable, but it just feels scary because this thing costs a lot. And I didn't show this up close. Let me try to zoom in on one of these pairs of hands if I can. But the hands are fully painted as well. They have like a silver wash all over them, all over the fingers, everywhere. You can't really, it just looks like light reflection, but it is painted silver. Trust me. Optimus does have these two like double pointing fingers right here. Like I have him putting this right here like he's hitting his communicator, or we can readjust. Holy crap, that has never happened. I don't feel like refilming this. You can readjust that, and let's see if I can get this back on there. It's just a C-clip right here. You need to plug it on top of that. There we go. But now he's like pointing at Megatron like, yes, you're gonna be next for this axe. Or maybe he's telling the Autobots to get out there. Or maybe he's just like finger bang shooting like pew pew. You're next, like I said earlier. But this thing is great at stoic poses or pretty much anything. Just bend them and readjust a little tiny bit and it's okay. And wow, I am popping this guy apart left and right on camera. I've been messing with this thing and haven't been doing that. One area I can tell you to worry about, these. They kept popping off on me. This shoulder, the the ball joint kept popping, making the arm pop off right here. And as you saw, the head. Anything else is just, I guess, me and my extreme posing, whatnot. But just know that this thing is kind of frustrating and will pop off if you're not patient and gentle. Alright, here's where we're going to end things. I wanted to use these splayed out hands for a more like dynamic hold the arm out pose, but they're splayed inward and you can't make the wrist go outward like I was complaining about earlier. I mean, not without like popping it off the ball joint. So that is definitely frustrating, but let's get to these final thoughts, and then I'm gonna bring in some random comparisons with other things. But yeah, I haven't been talking about it, but these things right here, I don't like them. It's ugly. They're just floating above his feet. It looks dumb and not integrated into the design. I saw other reviews and saw them complaining about it. I guess there is a rock with this, so you can like rock it more like that. But in person, yes, that frustrates me. I don't like that at all. I talked to TM Reviews and he said you can't pop these off because they're just on a ball joint, but then you'll have the hook that keeps it attached right there sticking straight out. And TM Reviews said that you can remove that, but it's a lot of effort. This ain't my toy, so I'll let Matt worry about that. He might not care. But yeah, this is a cool figure. My main killer gripes, this thing right here, and the fact that the arm doesn't go outward, and the neck articulation, it's good but hindered at the same time, if that makes any sense. And then when I try to like get it into a better pose, it pops out of that socket, and that is frustrating. And you saw the things popping off, and like I said, you gotta readjust everything after you pose them. So it's a good looking figure and it's posable. You just have to have a ton of patience to want to mess with this thing, and I don't have patience. I like to just be able to pose a figure, maybe readjust something like really briefly, quickly, but you got to do a lot. And these shoulders, like once you get the arms all like that, you can't just bring it down. You got to rock this up at a certain angle because the ball joint works a certain way and you might pop the ball joint out of the socket. So yeah, I guess it's worth what they're asking for because of the way it looks and the build quality and the amount of accessories. But is this thing worth the hassle to you? That's what you got to worry about. You let me know in the comments. Here he is next to Masterpiece Bumblebee 2.0. Here he is next to Shoki, since he's been standing there the whole time. A couple of War for Cybertron molds. Leader Class Galvatron. Make Toys Galaxy Meteor, since he's in the room. And Cosmos. Well, yeah, I said what I said. I'm not going to say more. Thank you for watching this. Thank you, Matt. Until next time, T-Man978 out of here.
Figure action. That one's me.
Join the Syndicate Toy Hunters Facebook group. Link in the description. Click the videos. Click the fucking videos, baby. Click the videos. You should really click these videos. Click the videos.